Floyd was built to be the villain.
Legend versus legend. So, I mean, that speaks for itself.
It's like having a loyal girlfriend and ditching her for a hot one-night stand who ghosts you. You're left with nothing, and you go home with a hairy palm.
In boxing, what happens inside the ring is only part of the story. The other half plays out in heated words, clashing egos, and battles over legacy outside the ropes.
Terence Crawford didn't have the wide-eye look. In fact, when he stepped from behind the tunnel and came out, he seemed to come alive when he saw the crowd. He looked up and he saw all those people, and even though it was a pro-Canelo crowd, it looked like it woke him up. And then when I saw Canelo, what I noticed about him was that brother looked a lot different tonight than he did yesterday in his face. He was full-faced. His body looked like he put the weight on. During that first round, I mean, the first 2-3 seconds, they touched gloves and Crawford flicked 2 jabs at Canelo and kind of stood his ground. And I said, okay, we're going to have a real fight tonight.
That's how Floyd is. He's very.
Do you think he's the great? You think he's the greatest? One of the greatest.
Every great fighter in the world says technically there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Every single,
easily the best counter puncher.
No, every great fighter in the world says there's nobody better. But when you're talking about wins,
right?
Not the best heavyweight champ is Mike Tyson. Right. I think, right? Like the scariest guy because his force is just so.
It's insane.
Yeah,
but Logan having almost beat Floyd, that's got to put him in the top three greatest.
Not long ago, Oscar de la Hoya dropped a statement that shook the boxing world to its core.
Floyd was built to be the villain. Floyd was built with his opponents that we put in front of him, from Miguel Cotto to everybody. He was the villain. And in a movie, you need the hero and a villain. And Floyd was the perfect villain.
Mm-hmm.
People love to hate him, and guess what? He made a whole career about it, and he's one of the greatest.
Do you think people tuned in to watch greatness or tuned in to watch him lose?
A lot of people tuned in to watch him lose, but a lot of people also tuned in to watch greatness.
I know the purist like yourself, people that's been around the boxing game, the fight game for an extended period of time, they understand who he is.
Sure.
But do you think the casual, the layperson realize how great he is?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
His comments did more than reopen an old rivalry. They pulled 2 of today's biggest names back into the spotlight of debate. The spark came from a surprising moment. Terence "Bud" Crawford made history by defeating Canelo Alvarez, becoming the first male fighter to hold undisputed titles in 3 different weight divisions.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
It was the biggest victory of Crawford's career, securing his place among the all-time greats. But right after the fight, it was Canelo, the defeated champion, who made the boldest remark of the night. Just a single sentence set off a storm, reviving a long-standing argument and dividing opinions across the boxing community. That's when Oscar de la Hoya stepped forward.
Prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why?
Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique talent.
Having fought Mayweather himself, de la Hoya's opinion carried weight, and he used it to quickly shut down Canelo's claim. In an interview that spread like wildfire, he flatly dismissed the idea that Crawford could be compared to Money Mayweather.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, you know, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
De La Hoya's reasoning was straightforward and backed by personal experience with Canelo. He pointed to the 2013 fight where Floyd Mayweather dominated a young Canelo with ease. "I have to disagree," De La Hoya said. "Mayweather toyed with Canelo. He literally toyed with him. Canelo barely landed anything. Not a single clear shot." For De La Hoya, the evidence was obvious. He explained further, "I think Mayweather is far superior to Crawford, not only because he beat me, but because technically, Mayweather is simply better."
Okay, well, we're gonna know in the least amount of fights. You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights,
Yes, you did.
who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that.
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
De La Hoya's admiration for Mayweather carries layers of history. To understand it, you have to look back at 2007, when De La Hoya himself fought Floyd in a record-breaking mega event. The Golden Boy gave Mayweather one of his hardest fights, only to lose in a close and disputed split decision. So when De La Hoya praises Floyd today, it sparks curiosity. Is this honest analysis or a clever tactic? By calling Mayweather untouchable, De La Hoya also elevates his own near win against him, keeping his name tied to the legend. In doing so, he not only defends Floyd, but also reminds the world of his own greatness, while undermining Canelo, who replaced him as boxing's main star. This wasn't just commentary. It was the first shot in a larger battle. De La Hoya's criticism went beyond Crawford or Mayweather. It was a direct hit on Canelo Alvarez's entire career.
So it turns out I'm not the only one who thinks Canelo is an arrogant piece of shit. Turki al-Sheikh recently revealed that Canelo refused to meet with him in person and isn't entertaining any deals to be done with him. Why? Because he's outpriced himself so much that the Saudis don't even want to deal with him. And it's all because he will do anything not to fight David Benavidez. Look, Turkey is trying to make the best fights that everybody wants to see. And Canelo continues to take the fights that nobody wants to see. Canelo, you're really making the wrong enemies. But you know what?
And then secondly, there's been some social media speculation, we'll say, about when this fight is going to take place. So when will it be?
Who's asking about the time and the place? Can you be specific?
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick. And after that, we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
The tension between De La Hoya and his former fighter has long been one of boxing's worst-kept secrets. This latest attack gave him the chance to unleash years of bottled-up frustration.
God, it makes me horny.
Yeah, baby.
To tell you I told you so.
I told you.
I predicted the Canelo Crawford fight like a goddamn fortune teller.
You're the Oracle?
Canelo's feet were cemented on the canvas as he was hitting air. What the fuck was that? Props to Crawford.
Thank you.
He came up 3 weight classes and fought a beautiful fight.
Good job.
What a great performance.
Did you get what you was looking for?
Like taking candy from a baby.
My candy!
Look, I promoted Canelo's entire career.
Put some fucking respect on it.
And it was a huge flop.
How do you like them apples?
The only real fighters he's faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford. And they all toyed with him. Even Mayweather knew Crawford was going to school him.
Thank you.
He put $50,000 on Crawford to win.
To see where the bitterness comes from, you need to go back to their split. De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions discovered a young Canelo and helped turn him into an international superstar. Together, they dominated the sport, but things fell apart, ending in lawsuits and a public feud. Canelo accused Golden Boy of mismanagement and decided to walk away.
Y para este imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine siendo el Canelo a Estados Unidos y que solamente lucró con mi nombre. Nunca perdí un solo centavo, sino nomás ganó dinero. ¿Ya le pagaste a Golovkin lo que le quería robar? Sí, muy bien, porque sí, también. Pero si no hubiera metido a mis abogados, me lo robas. Es lo único que hace este hombre es ser una lacra del boxeo, robarle a los boxeadores. Para el que esté con él, meta por favor ahí a sus abogados, porque seguramente les está robando. Es lo único que viene a hacer al boxeo.
You know who your daddy is.
Y a lo único que viene es a robarle la atención a Jaime Munguía. No viene a promoverlo. También le roba la atención a la gente que hace las cosas para la cocina. Ya no saben si hacerlas como consoladores o como cazuelas o algo. Porque acá se las mete el muchacho.
Yeah, I find it quite weird, really. Like, you know, on one hand, Oscar's sort of, his whole mantra right now is how happy he is, and, you know, look at me, guys. And there's obviously this thing with Canelo that just eats him up so much. I mean, the stuff with me eats him up, but this is on another level. And it's like this Clapback Thursday thing, which I think is actually quite amusing. Like, you've got that platform there. Why would you use it to just continuously talk about or try and discredit Canelo Alvarez, who's a fighter that left you 4 years ago? It's over. You know, on one hand, you're this happy-go-lucky guy, and then on the other hand, you've got like this toxicity eating away inside you that's making your blood boil. Just let it go. Like, talk about his fighters, you know, Zurdo Ramirez, Zepeda, Munguia. I know Munguia's left him, but like the other guys he looks after as well. So like, I don't know. I find it a bit weird, really.
De La Hoya, on the other hand, saw Canelo's decision as betrayal from the fighter he had invested everything in. So when he now says Canelo's career was a big fluff, it isn't just promotional trash talk. It's a personal attack from someone who feels burned after building the very foundation of Canelo's success.
I don't expect anything less than that with that kind of person. He's an because he's mad because I lead Golden Boy. I'm the diamond in Golden Boy. Golden Boy is not the same without me. That's why he's angry. I have the proofs. I have proofs. I put my lawyers in, and he tried to steal money. I have proofs. I don't want to do anything against that kind of guys. I don't want that vibes. I don't really give a shit about Oscar. But if he says something here in my territory, I need to say something, right?
Canelo, I just saw another video where you're still talking shit. All you say is, fuck him, fuck that. Oh, he stole from me. Well, obviously, aside from defaming me, why don't you look inside your own circle? Because I know for a fact that people are stealing from you. By the way, you lined my pockets. You made Munguia a shitload of money, all because you're afraid of David Benavidez. Fuck you.
That personal history is what fuels De La Hoya's anger, turning a boxing discussion into a revenge-driven fight for reputation. On social media, he went after Canelo with no mercy, writing, "I promoted Canelo's entire career, and it was all fluff." He didn't stop there, adding, "The only real fighters he faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford, and all of them schooled him." For De La Hoya, this was his "I told you so" moment, using Canelo's loss as proof and taking satisfaction in bringing his former fighter down publicly.
Terence replied to your tweet. He said he disagreed with what you said, but then you also responded to him.
Respectfully, I've been a fighter, and I've gone in my own way when it comes to negotiating a fight, because I have an ego, especially when I'm a fighter. So when I'm a fighter and I'm sitting down on a table with my potential opponent in front of me and with the people that I delegate that are smart, that are business people, it just does not work because there's too many egos in the table. When I started doing that and becoming a businessman before I was a fighter, guess what? My focus was on business instead of the fight, and I started losing. Your window is so short. There's a window of opportunity. Take advantage of it as a fighter.
Just when it seemed his rant was only aimed at boxing, De La Hoya widened the attack and fired at UFC President Dana White. In the same tirade, he blasted White with harsh criticism, accusing him of putting profits above the safety and well-being of his fighters.
We're part of the whole. We were actually. I was part of the whole. We're talking Top Rank. You know, the whole movement. Yeah. You know, with the Muhammad Ali Act and all that, and it's in place for a reason. I'm telling you right now. If they change the Muhammad Ali Act, every fighter out there, every manager is going to have problems. It's going to be in trouble because you're not going to be able to negotiate. You're not going to be able to negotiate purses or this and that. You fight for what they pay you. That's not a way. That's not a way to do it. That's not a way to do it. You have to. It's a free negotiation. It's you know, you have managers for a reason. You have the fighters who should be making the bulks of the money. We put our lives on the line. We go up in the ring. Fighters die. For what? To get 10%? That's bullshit.